Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mean Green Nation podcast. Welcome to it. It's that time. It's a little fade out. It's, we had to do the fight song. Sad fight song. Start the show. Because, our team will ever fight. And it's also going to a bowl game. Folks, if you ain't know, the Mean Green lost on Friday.
It hurts.
Oh, it sucks. I'll say I don't want to take up too much because I want to get your impression, right? Because I wrote up this is what happened, my thoughts. I was talking with other people. I don't know if you guys know William M on Twitter, and he said he got his all his tailgate gear stolen. I guess like the Tulane like tailgate company. They're like, well, this must be our stuff, and they took his liquor and his ice. They took the ice. It was very Grinch style. They took the ice from the cooler.
Terrible.
Yeah, so I was helping him clean it up and pick it up. I was like, well, look on the bright side, man. These coolers are real light, you can look at them. They're real empty now. So I did a lot of talking. We'll go right into it, right? On the man on the West Coast, Mr. Aldo Vina. What were your impressions of the game?
Before the game started, I told my wife, you're either going to see tears of joy or tears of agony. And so we had tears of agony. And, going into it, what was writing, what was on the line was trying to break up some barriers that we haven't broken before, right? We were able to get throughout the season 11 wins, something we've never accomplished before. 4,000 yard passer, 1,000 yard running back, 1,000 yard receiver. All these different tick marks that will forever be ingrained or written in our history books. But we'll keep remembering that year we didn't again win the conference championship, and that part really stings. For the 22 seasons on to season 23 that I've been part of this team. I understand that there's that part of like we're a mid-major, poorly funded, poorly just a really poor fan base. There's no qualms about it.
He called all y'all poor. He said right now, check your pockets. Ain't enough cash in there. That's what he said.
Our alumni base. Let me correct that. Right, the poor alumni base. Because the fans that are here, right, there's probably a few thousand really hardcore fans that jump on a message board, go on Twitter, have Twitter spats with other teams. That part's great. But when it comes to open up wallets and stuff, we just keep asking the same 5 people to donate large chunks of change, and with this winning streak that we had this season, yes, we had more attention, which is awesome. We had more people coming by, but then we crashed the way it did in a way that was catastrophic, right? In my mind, is like there's no way we lose this unless something really bad happens, and 10 bad things happen. Injuries, the refs were against us, just the dumb luck plays that went into Tulane's favor. Nothing went our way. I still contend that we are a better team than Tulane, and I will go to the grave with that. And there are just some barriers or some things that you can't overcome, and that was the feeling at the end of the game was that we're never gonna get past this. It's never gonna happen, right? That feeling of disdain, defeat. And a couple of sleeps later, I feel much better than I did that night. But it just you feel so defeated after so long. It takes a monumental amount of effort just to get to this point. And I don't know the next time it's going to happen because our team's getting pilfered. Obviously, I've got respect for Neil Brown and what he does and what he's bringing. So there's that hope that I know I've seen him do it before at Troy. See you do it again here in North Texas, but there's also that worry of like, well, it's going to be his first year, right? He's got to rebuild, he's got to reload because Eric Morse is going to take a lot of players, a lot of staff, and we're going to lose a lot of recruits just naturally, as we've seen. That was expected. So heck, can he reload like Eric Morse can reload over a season? But yeah, that. These thoughts are about 30 minutes after the game, so we can continue or we can reflect on my feelings.
No, I like that. I think that's good. Solid, 6 minutes of all those thoughts. That's good. That's good. So I'll give a few. I think if you read some like the reaction, so I'm start talking like that just because I have I've been saying Tulane. I'm gonna say reaction. I jokingly said that the taxi I was in from the airport to the hotel, it didn't happen, but I was jokingly saying that it portended bad things because you got an accident, right? It was trying to beat the light, taxis. And it was like Poydras and then La Soya or something like that, or Loyola or something. Anyway, it was like right by the Dave & Buster's there. And I had to tell the guy, he was like, "Oh, I'm right here." And I was like, he's on the phone with the cops, like, "By the Dave & Buster's." He's like, "Yeah, by the Dave & Buster's." He tried to beat a light, and someone was turning from the middle lane, and they just kept turning. And they scraped him up. It was nothing crazy. But I was like, it's one of those, all I could say was just go, oh, hey, guys. And then he got it just kind of scraped up the side. And then he was insisted, you got to stay there. So, long story short, I was there for too long. I wanted to leave, but he was, "No, can you please stay?" So I was trying to be, I was in a good mood. I had a good flight. I had a good breakfast. It was all good. I was like, I'm going to get here, go to the tailgate. It's going to be great. We're going to win this game. I feel confident. I feel, all the other stuff. I was talking to even the other guy in the other car. He was a passenger in that car. He was like, "Yeah, your team's pretty good. I've been betting North Texas all the season." Everybody felt good about this, right? But, I was like, this is just, I don't know, it feels weird. I was late to the tailgate because of this thing. I didn't get to go there. I kind of got straight in. I didn't really get to eat the little thing at the burger bar that went at the Marriott. I ordered it. Burger wasn't that great. I did get some beignets, though. Everything just felt weird. I was like, something's weird. It just feels like it's okay. It's not bad, but it just feels something weird. And it continued that way. Like, we were there. We were playing. We scored a touchdown. Right, but we had to go for on fourth down a couple times. They scored, and then it's all the rest. Everything just felt weird, and then suddenly you look up and we're down 24 points, right? Just because get an injury to a running back, all this other stuff. I totally agree with you, and if you guys read the thing, you understand what I'm saying. I'll give you the verbal version of it here. I'll be quick and succinct. Is that number one? Drew Mastermaker threw 3 interceptions, right? That's it. He didn't play as calmly and comfortably as he usually does. We were concerned about Tulane's defensive line able to get to us, but we didn't think that it would be that big of a deal. And even though he got sacked 5 times in the first half, I still contend that it wasn't that big of a deal. It did end a couple of drives, right? But he wasn't hit when he threw that first interception, right? It was a late. It was. The ball tipped White Young and it was intercepted, right? That was through the hands. Is that the rain? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Like we've also seen that happen at USF against USF. We've seen that kind of thing happen last year against Texas Tech. Is that the quarterback's fault? It's not. Yeah, I complained about the
throw itself was half on Mastermaker. That one in particular because it was thrown really far behind.
No, I'm not talking about the one in the end zone. I'm talking about the one that was returned back. That was the first interception.
Oh,
right?
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one, that was on him. But again, he was not being pressured, right? He just rolls right, and he doesn't put it on him. He throws it a little bit. He throws it far. But at my angle, I could see how far it was, right? On the video, I could see in the replay. It looked like, he could turn, he could have caught it, and your hands are on the ball, you should catch it, right? Every receiver's coach, says that. But it was way behind him. And
yeah, would have been very acrobatic. Yeah,
yeah, that's an easy throw, right? He's made that throw all season. He's been very accurate all season. Bad throw, interception. And then the final one, whatever. Like, I think you can say, hey, it's 3rd and 6. Just throw it away again. You already threw it away once. Throw it away again. But he tried to force it across the middle, late across the middle, which is a no-no to Trey Williams. Again, it's time and circumstance. He's just trying to make a play. It's desperation time anyway, because even if you score there, you still got to get an onside
kick.
Yeah, so, I mean, whatever. But, yeah, that was it. But part of the other thing, right, and some other guys were saying this too after the game, why was he making so many checks at the line? Why was he doing it? He's had the freedom to do that the whole time. I think what was worse about his game, and he wasn't pressured yet, is he was missing open corner routes, little out routes, little flat corner routes. They kind of bend. They're not real deep corners, little shallow corner routes. He was missing those to Wyatt Young. I think 2 or 3 that I can think of. To Trey Williams, 1 or 2. And even, I think, on his first drive to Trey Williams, that pass to Trey Williams, I thought it was a little bit upfield. And maybe he was aiming there, but I thought that was a little weird. It was Trey Williams is kind of running. I feel like you should put it on him. He puts it like towards upfield, so he turns, he catches, it ends up being a score. I had that in my mind. I was like, oh, is that where you want to put the ball there? I don't think that is. I think the coaching point is that you put it away, up, maybe on him. But I was like, maybe he did that so he can turn and catch and go upfield. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. So
I think. Go ahead.
Our freshman quarterback, in a championship game on the road in the rain. Threw some couple bad balls, and I feel like that helps me contextualize the situation again, right? Like, I was like, okay, I can't be like, what's going on? I was like, because it was our freshman quarterback, threw a couple bad balls. He also threw for 294, and I thought he played pretty well outside of those things.
I agree. Yeah, outside of those things he couldn't control, I thought the game was maybe not in hand, but in our favor, in control. I mean, they drove in the second half late in third quarter or the middle of fourth quarter, just up and down, quick 14 points and forced punts from Tulane. And Tulane didn't change any aspect of their game, at least that I could tell. It was that they were in it. There was no effects from the refs. And the rain had stopped by that point, and I don't think that Tulane was doing anything special. Right at early on, there might have been jitters. The left tackle, 67, he was getting beat. Right, he was getting beat constantly, and so they moved him to left guard, and that kind of helped things a little bit. And I still think that you eliminate those weird calls from the refs. Two awful calls that we don't feel alone here. I feel validated going online, and obviously there's 100 big betting accounts and barstool accounts that probably had money on North Texas, right? So there's a little bit of bias there, not just from bias from being a North Texas fan here, but that the fumble that he didn't give up. Messermaker forced a fumble, and it should have been a touchback. That put us in a 14-point hole. The punt return, the punt interference that was not called by one of the refs that also put Tulane within a few yards of the end zone. That I do not place on the team at all. I mean, yes, you can say Tipton, you got to be more aware of where the ball is.
Yeah, I'll say it. Tipton, you got to be more aware where the ball is.
Right, because sometimes the refs don't see things, but that is like the worst no call I've ever seen, because the refs need to be paying attention to the punt returner, right? That you watch the guy to make sure he's got a clean ball, and he was absolutely just tackled, and then he's reacting, right? I think it was Landon Sides. He's reacting like, I got tackled, and to get the refs' attention, is like, oh yeah, I got to. And nothing. And it was some of the most frustrating things I've ever seen. And it was all over Twitter, all over news articles. So I feel better about not feeling like I'm just being a fan here.
Well, so let me jump in, because I know a couple people have been like bothering me about this. They're like, he was pushed into it if you watch the thing. So they reviewed that. One, they didn't review that. That whole thing is unreviewable.
Yeah, it's unreviewable. You can't.
So nobody could look at anything, and they didn't rule that. They didn't see the guy get pushed. They were not. They looked away. And the rule is that you can't interfere with the kicker, the receiver, and he was the one. You have to give him a chance to go return the kick. Now, the only thing that I could say that maybe in Tulane's favor is that the ball was going towards somewhere else, and then maybe the other guy was it. I think, yeah.
Sides was working towards.
Yes, exactly.
Ball, right?
Like, to me, it was absolutely clear. It was a terrible situation, but that was after a couple other bad. So, like, we'll go through the drives real quick, right? Because first one, 15 plays, 75 yards, touchdown, 6 minutes possession. Tulane drives, they have to convert a couple fourth down ones, 16 plays, 81 yards, right? And they get a little tush push, I think it was. Oh, no, it was a little scoot around by Retzlaff, who, by the way, I think was held in check. He only had 145 yards, receiving 59 yards. He was good in that, like, they had 3 5-minute drives, 4 10-play drives. Their average time of possession was about 3 to 4 minutes, but they punted the ball 3 times. They only scored in the second half a field goal, right? So I think they were pretty well contained. The defense did their job. I think people were like, the defense did a good job. They allowed some longish drives, like a 6-minute drive that ended in the field goal attempt, but it was a missed field goal attempt. Whatever. Even then, that's field goal, it's whatever. And then the last one was, there was a dropped interception. It ends up being a field goal attempt. But you're in desperation mode anyway. You're down 14 or 13 points at that point. Like, I don't know. So drive by drive. That's the first one. They match it. The next one, this is the big turning point immediately. Fumble. 8 plays, 46 yards. It was weird already, right? Because Caleb Hawkins went out in that first drive. Sibley's in. Sibley didn't know what he was supposed to do, right? That was clear. Because he's like, stand here. And there was one that was supposed to be a play action. He goes left. The ball was going right. So I think if anything made Mestamaker have to be, made him uncomfortable, it's him having to tell the running back where he's supposed to be, and
what to do.
Yeah. So like, especially if the running back's involved in pass protection, you're like, and you have that in the back.
You don't trust him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this dude doesn't know where to stand, right? How's he gonna know who to pick up on his block here, right? I don't trust it, and I feel like that played a factor. Was it a big factor? I don't know. It was a little bit, and then again, it's a good team. The margins are not as again. You're not playing Rice, UAB, Charlotte, those teams, right? You're playing a pretty good squad, so you're gonna get sacked.
Somebody that's ranked, but. And to the point that I was, I guess, trying to get to, and what we're coming to here is despite all these mistakes and things that were out of your control, right? Like the 2 ref situations that we're talking about, 3 interceptions, 5 or 6 sacks. Despite all that, you're still you get yourself back into the game late in the fourth quarter, and you're driving momentum in your favor late in the fourth quarter, and that's where this team has had that fight. Had the talent, had the capability to take control of the game and win it if it was not.
Yeah, that's it. It was like, I don't think 2 things. I heard 2 staffers say this coming out, and I think Morris said this about the interception. 99 times out of 100, Mestamaker makes that completion, right? And some other staffer was like, "Man, we play that game 100 times, we win that 99 times." This felt like a 1 in 100 game. Right? You're like, how is everything going against us? Where the refs are missing some crazy things, where the ball seemingly just bounces their way. Like, not only on defense, right, where like Wyatt Young, our most accomplished receiver so far, ball goes through his hands right into their hand, and then they run, and then they also fumble the ball at the 1. Like Mestamaker, he's like the only one that could make a tackle. There's like a convoy there. What should have happened is those 2 guys should have blown up Mestamaker, and the guy walked in, but he tried to truck him, and then Mestamaker made a play. He's a former safety. He forced the fumble. From my view, I was like, oh, clear fumble. I said that in the press box. I was like, oh, that's a fumble. That's a touchback. It looked very much like everybody on Tulane thought it. So then you get, whatever, like that. There was unlucky. Maybe you could be lucky again. No, you're actually unlucky still. So I thought that was terrible. And then, I thought the reaction by the staff, they're rightly upset. But I think you got to keep a cool head. And I thought Morris did not. And I thought, so that was one thing. Let's go back to this drive. North Texas is driving, and then they're hitting. Boom, 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 right? 8 plays, 46 yards. It ends up being this drive. And I thought they found some rhythm. They hit like Williams on a quick go, beating the blitz. They're moving the ball. They try to snap it. There was a weird snap there. I still don't know what happened, where the ball was snapped, and Mastermaker tried to quickly throw it out right. I think he thought that like the guy was offside. They were trying to catch him offside or something. The ref was like, "What?" Mastermaker's yelling at the ref. The coaches are yelling at the ref. The ball was almost intercepted, but it's immediately second down. So we're like, okay, let's try to get something. This is where Morris calls that fake HB swing, like a middle screen, right, which has worked before. Credit Tulane, they saw it coming. They killed it. They ate it up. And then so some people are like, how can you hit the receiver inside 5 yards? You can hit him. It looks like a block. You can hit him. You can do whatever. Mastermaker sacked. Okay, so now it's 3rd and 21. They're moving the ball, and they go to immediately 3rd and 21. So, okay, that's just some whatever. You give them some credit. They call 6, right, with the little HB over the middle, little angle route, Texas route, whatever you want to call it. I think I was like, they're going to either throw a screen, do a draw, it's sort of a give-up play, or just get some yards, kick a field goal. At this point, it could have been 10-7, right, and you feel good about everything, right? Okay, you held us to a field goal, or at least a field goal attempt. Hawkins gets the ball, gets 11 yards, and you never know, right? We've seen it taking 68 yards. He fumbles, but he's hurt, so he fumbles because he's hurt. He can't hold the ball. They scoop it up, and they run all the way down. 30-yard run from them, and then an 8-yard run. So 2 plays, it's 7-yard run. 2 plays, 37 yards, 57 seconds. Immediately, we're down 14-0. So, that one, I mean, it's bad luck, but it's like Caleb Hawkins is our he's been the difference maker, our red zone efficiency man. We said this on the last podcast. So immediately we don't have that. I don't know. What did you think about that Caleb Hawkins thing?
It was unfortunate, right? But to me, that's just part of the game. That is nothing that I'm going to place blame on anyone. He's hurt. He can't hold the ball as strongly. If you ever like hit your funny bone, you try to pick something up, right? It doesn't compare, right? But you lose some of your strength, right? So that's just how the game goes. He felt like he could continue and he could battle. Full credit to him. I'm not going to place blame on anyone for that. And he wasn't going to know that he couldn't hold the ball until he got smacked, and that's exactly what happened. So that was a play that Tulane made, and that is one that you put it in their favor. Tick mark on that side of the board.
Yeah, and I mean you gotta be ready on those quick change plays. Those always get defenses, and credit to Tulane, they scored. Okay, fine. All right, we get the ball back. We're moving the ball well, and then we just go 3 plays, 17 yards, negative 17 yards punt. It was pretty terrible. It was like a terrible run. I think we end up getting sacked, and we start to see Tulane's defensive line starting to make some plays. Right, this is like the second sack in 2 drives. I wrote this down, the other one. I had the notes on the play-by-play one, but it's a quick punt. They drive down. They get a field goal. Okay, so now it's, 17-7. You're like, okay, we need something here. And this one's 7 plays, 21 yards, and another punt. And I think those 2 drives were killer, right? You're like, like those are the ones you had to get something. And again, credit to Tulane for holding North Texas here. I thought this is where Mastermaker was missing guys, right? Like, and I don't know if it was like, oh, we're getting hyped up because it should be better, so let me go try to make a play. But this is where the corner routes are off. This is where, I think it was Dorner was doing pretty good on this one. They got 21 yards, and then they just, they're going backwards. So that was,
and I think this is where missing Caleb Hawkins was really disrupting the flow of the game. You're not trusting Sibley, even though he was getting some yards, but he's not really. The game's not flowing the way you want it to, or the way you're expecting it to flow, because it's a different guy there. And then add on top of that, Messmaker's misses. That's throwing everybody for a loop. So you kind of feel that one, it's a momentum shift, and secondly, you don't have that flow, so you're kind of second guessing yourself, questioning. You've been sacked already, so you're like, all right, what's going on here? And I can't remember another thing to add to the weird column was there was a snap that the Tulane center just whiffed on, like the ball stayed there.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, and then everybody was diving on it or something. Yeah,
well, watching the replay, North Texas was on top of it, but it did like this pinball thing and just boop, flew right out of there. Into Retzlaff's
hands.
Yeah.
So, there was another thing, and I made a note on that. I brought up my notes here. So, on that 3 plays, negative 17, that first 3 and out, right? Tulane had tried to do a quick kick, and you can tell, again, credit to them because their game plan was the same as Western Michigan, same as Army's, same as USA's. Basically, we'll hold the ball, drive down, kill the game, don't give North Texas possessions. So where they try to quick kick it. It's 67, right? He did a false start or something, but then he was doing that. He was like clapping. He was like, no, it was like clap, clap, clap. Right? That's what happened. Like he was insisting that it was not his fault. And everybody's like, what are you doing? Messermaker, and the next play, and then he ends up getting sacked for 16 yards, was that he does a pump fake to the swing route. And I don't know if they were trying to pump fake it for real, or that was like he just said, no, I'm not going to do that play. Let me try something else.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, so then he gets sacked. Either way, again, it's a little Tulane credit because they got in there and they made a sack. But weirdness is happening on the offensive line. They're not on the same page. You start that drive off, you go back -5 yards. That's again, it's not working right, you know.
And I think there was another play too where he had a check down on the flats to the running back. He didn't take it. He was looking down the field.
Yeah.
And instead of just giving it up and letting the running back do his thing, I guess I don't know if it was lack of trust or the gumption of like I can make this happen, which fine. Do your thing, but at this point, things aren't working. So make something happen. Take the small things. And I was yelling at the TV, just check it down, throw it down, let him, because he could have gotten maybe 4 or 5 yards at that point.
Yeah. So then here's another thing, because I think this is the other one about checking the play, and I think about the discombobulation, right? So it was offside on our run. We run for 6 yards, but we go back 5 yards because we were offside. The rest were talking to each other. There was confusion on offense about lining up, right? Trey Williams and Young were supposed to swap sides. They stopped, and they're like, what? White, Young runs left. Sibley was like, where should I go? Messermaker was like, no, you go there, you flip. Sibley, you go all the way out. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he has to get out there. So they go like an empty set. Sibley's all the way around. What they do is a little shock route, a little inside fade to Wyatt Young. Messermaker that's bad luck, maybe bad throw. The DB comes all the way over, and he gets a hand on it. And everybody's like, ooh, almost interception. But Wyatt Young could have caught it, right? Like his tipped, his missed, and he drops it. It's one of those ones you don't really
hit his hands. Yeah.
You don't blame the wide receiver, but Tulane was catching all of those. And as we saw later on, Samaje Burrell missed it, and they still catch it anyway. We just had that kind of bad luck that day. So again, why am I telling you about this? Why we go into detail about it? It's just a lot of that same kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. And I don't blame Burrell for not catching that interception, because if a ball's going at you like 50 miles an hour and getting that hands up, that is tough to catch.
That's why they stick you at linebacker, right? That's what they're like, hey, you'd be a great tight end, because
you're a corner because you're a wide receiver that can't catch the ball.
How about you hit people? Don't try to catch them.
But the bad luck is that even though he disrupted the pass, it still went straight into the receiver's hands.
Instead of catching it here, he caught it right here. Yeah.
It wasn't. He didn't have to make a humongous play. It came at him slower. Oh, here we go. Yeah, exactly. Here's the ball.
Oh, look, a nice, comfortable pass from me. So again, the next drive, right? So this is the 7-play, 21-yard drive. Sibley 2 yards, Dorner to 6 yards. He did great, by the way. Cam Dorner was catching the ball with his hands out away from him, turning up. He had some great yak yards. He had that spin later on in the game. 3rd and 2, they were looking for T. Lou out there. I thought he did great. Terrence Lewis. And then, again, went to Dorner again on a little crossing route. Cam Dorner again, little stop route. Great stuff, another first down. They missed Wyatt Young on a corner again, right? And then Gray ran for 6 on a little power run, but then a sack and a slow developing play. 67 got beat. It's his fault. It's the offensive line's fault. But they were running twists, right? This is the thing you can see in the play, where it looked like he just got beat around the end, but the inside guy went around. His guy, the outside guy, runs in. Now, there are a bunch of calls. There are a bunch of ways to do that. There's a bunch of techniques, offensive line stuff. Guy crosses your face. You're supposed to do this. This is how you're supposed to react. This is what you're supposed to say. All kinds of stuff. It's the offensive line's responsibility to guard against that. They had seen it on film. It's all part of the game. It was good execution by Tulane, bad execution by the offensive line, bad execution by the individual players. They got beat, sack. Again, they're scholarship players too. So at this point, North Texas punts the ball. Tulane has the ball up 17-7, right? It's second quarter, about midway through. It's like a couple minutes left in the game. North Texas kills a Tulane drive, right? They go 6 plays, 43 yards, minute TOP, right? They were moving the ball well. They were like at the 1 or something like that after this punt. There was a horse collar tackle. I thought North Texas defense was doing pretty good. They were getting, sort of nickel and dimed on the run or whatever. There's nothing crazy. There was no big gains. Thought they were doing fine, but they're not killing it. They're not getting tackles for loss, whatever. Getting stops, forcing punts. But Tulane's driving to North Texas territories. They're doing lots of fake motion, this, that, and the other. And Retzlaff keeps rolling out and finding guys on little flat routes, and they turn up and score. He had a guy, and he missed him, right? Whatever. And then I think there's another drop, too, 3rd and 6, right? There's a 3rd and 6 one, short of the sticks, good tackles by the guys, punt. And then that's the terrible situation. So at that moment, 17-7, you get the ball back. Even if you have another 21-yard, drive and you punt the ball, you go into halftime 17-7, you're fine. You feel good. You're like, okay, this is not terrible. It's just a couple scores. We can score touchdowns. We'll talk about it, whatever. But then they score, at full credit to Tulane going in. They're like, hey, we're going to get the ball back in the second half. Go for it. Dude, just, we need all the points we can get. They got 4th and 1, tush push. Credit to the defense for making it tough. We don't really ask them to do this kind of thing. I thought they did well enough. Right? To me, terrible second quarter. I'm gonna read you some stats from the second quarter. I know I'm just talking. 16 points to no points. Right, for Tulane. They had 124 yards. We had 30. Our rush average was negative 3.4 yards, and that was because we were getting all these sacks. Right, negative 24 yards rushing for us. 5 of 8 passing, only 54 yards. 2 penalties for 20 yards compared to their 1 penalty, 5 yards, right? They had 89 total rush yards, 5.6 yards per carry, 35 pass yards. Again, we did a pretty good job holding them on, not letting them get a lot of deep stuff. We were 1 and 4 on 3rd down, so were they. They were 1 of 1 on 4th down. That was the touchdown one. So we had 15 plays. Our average yards per play was 2. And we had the ball 17 minutes. And, yeah, we turned the ball over twice. So there you go. It says we fumbled the ball 3 times. I don't remember us fumbling the ball that much. But again, you can see it. It's just like, wow, you guys are playing pretty terribly, huh? That's all it is. It's like, didn't move the ball well. It wasn't only that one there. It was, some stuff that was terrible. I'm looking at the big plays for us. We had a lot of big plays in the second half. Looking at the big plays for them. Rushing yards, 3. 30-yard run, 11-yard run, 2 11-yard runs. 4 long passing plays. 22 yards, 15 yards, 17 yards, 22 yards. None of those are scores. So pretty good shutting them down in the big play area, which I think is great. Meanwhile, North Texas had 6 rushing plays over 10 yards and 6 passing plays over 15 yards. So North Texas wasn't moving the ball well. To your point, I think you said, hey, I feel like we played well. But, yes, I 100% agree.
Yeah, all the weirdness.
All right, so let's just finish these drives here. We just went through the first half, and I think that was a big break. Because at this point, it's, 24-7. Like, okay, the worst thing that could happen is that they get the ball. Hey, guess what? The defense forces them into a missed field goal, right? And I guess they didn't force a missed field goal, but 13 plays, 55 yards, they missed a field goal. You feel good. And then 3 and out. Well, it's not even 3 out. It's 4 plays, 1 yard interception. This is the part where I look at Eric Morris and I grab him by his shoulders and I knock his visor off and I say, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I turn to Nick Saban and give him an ass chewing. Like that's not an argument. That's called an ass. Because dude, this is Oklahoma State fans. This is the part that we've been complaining about. Go back to the archives where we're like, what are you doing? Is that 4th down again? Like, why are you doing this? He got too hyped up. And again, he was yelling at the refs the whole game. He's like, oh, you got to get it. I get it. But this is a point when you need calm. Hey, our defense has been doing pretty good. Let's punt the ball. We need to punt the ball. Flip the field. Even if they get a little drive there, we need to sort something out because we're not ready to go.
Yeah, this felt like a panic move, like it was in the middle of the 4th quarter, right? And we're down 3 scores. This was not the time to be doing that. And I don't know if it's bravado. I don't know if it's panic. I don't know if it's just defeat and like, well, nothing else is working, so just let's see what happens, and that's what you got. And it was a huge swing, another huge swing with a terrible decision on top of a terrible non-call.
Yeah.
And
So, exactly. It's like all of these combined, you have a lot of feelings at the same time. We were robbed. Also, that was stupid. Also, what are you doing? Catch the ball. Also, why are we doing? So, like, the first play, we run something more. Morris. Messermaker scrambles. He gets out of bounds, hit near the sideline. Okay. Is that bad? It is not. It's bad that Johnny Dixon, defending his quarterback's honor, gets a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. Like, I get it, dude. You get in his face. Talk mess about his mom, whatever. Don't hit him, because you hit him now. Again, it's time and place. Hey, everybody, time to score. We're down. We're down a lot of points, guys. Look at the scoreboard here, dude. We're down 17 points. It's the first time we had the ball. We cannot, absolutely cannot, go back 15 yards, right? Down counts, down 15. So it's second and what? Second and 25? Like, what are you doing, guys? What are you doing? So the next play, a little run for 4 yards again. So then we're like, okay, 3rd and 20, whatever. What are you gonna do? We call that as like a deep cross or a 6. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. But Messermaker again scrambles for 11 yards. Cool. Well, it's 3rd and 9 or whatever it is. Now it's not the time to go for it. You know what I mean? That's fine. We got punt the ball, because why am I saying this? Like, you don't have the answer. Right now, you're not calling the right plays, because the first play, the answer was Drew Messermaker's rolling out. He only got 1 yard. And then the third play was Messermaker rolling out, and he got 11 yards. Like, is your play like, you know what? This time when I dial up the play, this time Messermaker's going to run for 15 yards. Like, he's already tired. He's like, just punt the ball. Come over, talk about it. What are you seeing? Why did you not throw it? Why this, that, and the other? Like, to me, that's why you don't just go for it. They run a little mesh. It was short of the sticks anyway. I think they were looking for the sit route over the middle. It was short of the sticks. He was getting pressured. He looks for the throw. He throws it to him. Tip ball, interception, all the way back. The worst possible outcome happened, barring getting our quarterback injured. And he might have, because he was trying to make a tackle, goal line tackle.
Yeah.
There. Like, so
that
all of it, all that whole
injury.
That right there was terrible, absolutely terrible. So, what is it?
Key running back is out.
31-7. It's like, okay, now it's full on desperation mode. If you punt the ball, maybe he's still full on desperation mode. Maybe the defense allows a stupid play. I don't know, but they're the one unit playing well. Your offense is not playing well. Give them the ball. Like, give them an opportunity to make a play. Let's see what can happen, because right now you're not doing anything. Now, 10 plays, 73 yards. They move the ball absolutely well this way. And I stopped taking real notes here, because it was like, it's desperation time. It doesn't matter. Like,
what does it matter?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I'm taking notes. Like, we need something here. It's not. Are you seeing things? It's like, we need to throw the ball. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go quick. Or whatever.
Yeah, dear diary, this still sucks.
Yeah, and then this is the interception in the end zone. So you're just like, okay, the gods are not on our side here. It's over. Because
and to what you're saying, like, I know a lot of people have complained about the defense during this game. They were allowing just Tulane to march down the field, but they were stopping. They were forcing field goals.
They had one drive over 60 yards, over 70 yards, right? 81 yards, and then it was 37, 46, 40, 13, 55, 17, 19, and then 66. That's the one where we almost intercepted it.
Yeah, almost intercepted. We forced a fumble that unfortunately went out of bounds. We almost recovered a fumble from when the center blooped it. And so I want to give them some credit for the game. I don't want to put any. We could have gotten the ball back sooner in some situations, but they did their part. It was the offense that needed to step in and complement that. Special teams. Bless your heart. It's been the same story all season. I don't understand why we couldn't fix any of awareness issues, and they've put us in bad spots a lot of times throughout the year. Yeah, Simeon Evans has done some awesome returns, but overall, the whole special teams unit was an issue throughout the season. So one phase of the game was working all right. The other two phases were like, oh, what's going to happen? And the offense did, but aside, even though we were in such a hole, the offense was still so potent that they're able to get the team back into the game quickly.
Yeah. 415 yards for the offense, 294. They had 344. Again, the North Texas defense, I thought, played a good game, a solid game. Like, you're like, well, they allowed 34 points. Did they? Right? I mean, the team allowed 34 points, but the defense, that interception return, that's 7 off the board. That was not them. They didn't do anything, right? Skylar Cassidy doesn't coach up Drew Mestermaker. Like, I mean, that's nothing to do with him. It's points allowed, but that wasn't them. And then the other one, in the second quarter, that it was like short yardage, and then they go for it and they get the 3 yards. Yeah, it's defense, but I mean, is it really the defense? Are you setting them up to succeed? They mostly stopped them, right? It goes on their record, but I thought they did a good enough job where a normal North Texas offense this season beats them. This is the first time North Texas didn't score more than 30. You scored 31, and it's a 3-point game.
So 14 points. The defense had nothing to do with it, and then an additional 7. They were at the 8-yard line or whatever that was, right?
Yeah.
So it's 21 points that you can't really put on the. And I don't even know what the final score was, but do the math.
34-21. Yeah, it's a 13-point game. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 21 points that should not have been there.
Yeah, and so then the other part is that last interception. I mean, it's desperate. Here's 2 things, right? North Texas scores 2 touchdowns right away. 4 plays, 60 yards. Now, one of those came on a 59-yard. Again, 4 plays, 60 yards, but it was 1 play, 59-yard touchdown on 4th and 9. And then the next one included a 4th and 6 conversion, right? Both Miles Coleman, both great catches, great stuff there. Again, North Texas just kind of, let's see what happens. What I did think is that on both 4th and 9s, and 4th down plays, I'll say, is that they thought about it. There was one we lined up for a punt, and then we send the offense back out there. And I think I was like, I wrote down, I think I tweeted, I was like, they're going to do some kind of deep cross here. That's what I'm expecting. And they did, but I think the advantage is that you got to figure out what formation you're going to run it in. Who's going to run it, where you're going to target. It was a deep cross. He was wide open. I think there was a busted coverage. He catches a touchdown, North Texas. So, again, going back to the other play, hey, slow it down a little bit. Don't speed up. We're gonna go for it now. Line up. Right after your quarterback, who couldn't find anybody open, had to scramble. I don't know. It just seemed that's again.
Yeah.
They all probably want it back, but you can see that one mistake just snowballs, and then suddenly you're down 24, and now you can't just play your normal game. One injury means that you're not comfortable now. You're playing, with the nervy, I guess.
Right, but this game reminded me of the South Florida game because we allowed a lot of turnovers. We just didn't play well the second half and to the end of the second quarter, right? But I still felt like South Florida controlled the game, was the better team, and absolutely won it.
Yeah, South Florida kicked everybody's ass in that second half, where there was just you could tell guys were gassed. They were they couldn't tackle anymore, and they couldn't keep up with the pace. In this one, second half, I'm reading the second half, field goal attempt missed after 55 plays, 4 plays, 17 yards punt, 5 plays, 19 yards punt, field goal, 13 plays, 66 yards, okay. And then, then the end of the half. They got stops, right? Except that one, you're like, well, the field goal attempt, yeah, I mean, again, you can't be perfect. This team is not set up to be perfect. We're not relying on them. We're not saying, hey, defense, you are the best unit. We've invested in you. You have the most money. The head coach is the defensive guy. That's not our strength, right? And you're just saying, we asked them all season, can you be average? Yeah, that was pretty average right there. Held them to 344 yards. That's fine.
And one of Ratzlaff's worst ratings of the season.
Yeah, I don't think you can expect more. Now you can say, well, we needed more because we were falling on our faces on offense. Yeah, but I mean, I don't. What do you expect, dude? I don't know. You're like, I need you to jump 30 feet in the air. You need me to do that, but it's not going to happen. So again, turnovers, interception in the end zone, in the red zone. If he scores there, it's a different game, right? If they score there instead of interception and a punt. If they scored in that last one, and then you give it a chance at onside. It was basically over at that point. It was just, desperation time. The game, to me, this is why I was thinking it's so important, is that interception return. And I thought it was not just the interception return, it was the call. So even though the refs were terrible, awful, no good, check their bank accounts, check their crypto accounts. It was that bad. I still think that North Texas had something to do with that, right? And I think North Texas.
Sure. Yeah.
Eric Morris, he's barking at the refs. I mean, you need to bark at yourself. Go to the mirror. I know you were on that charter flight this morning to Stillwater. I hope you got a mirror in the bathroom and you're like, what are you doing? What were you calling? Why were you calling that play? Why were you thinking that? Why'd you let your emotions get the best of you, That's you, right? It's the same way, everybody has evaluation. That was a terrible call. Don't do that. And again, it's difficult to call. I say again because I said this to a bunch of people in New Orleans. It's difficult to second guess and criticize these guys because this is what got them to this point, right? But
well,
yeah, they've been aggressive, but it's not these kinds of calls in these situations, right? Yeah, it's one thing to beat up on Bryce and Charlotte and UAB and Temple. It's another when you got a Tulane, right? And I think you're better than Tulane, but you have to coach smarter there. You got to make better decisions. You got to consider what's happening because I thought your freshman quarterback, he was not ready to execute that play at that moment in time.
He went back to tendencies of old, and the reason he hasn't been calling plays like that is that he hasn't really been in a situation like
he hadn't had to,
all season, right? And so we hadn't seen it.
Yeah, you're up 35-7, and you're like, well, I don't think we're going for a fourth down. Which punt?
Yeah, and so I think Oklahoma State's going to have to get used to that. Sometimes it's going to work, and it's going to be a genius call, the best call ever, and sometimes it's going to be what we saw. Anyway, we lost. Tulane won. Full credit to them on taking the win. Congrats to the refs. Hopefully they got a good cash out when the game was over, or their cousins and they're getting a cut from that. Full. I hope they get investigated because that would make me at least feel better.
All right, so let's talk about Neil Brown, new head coach tomorrow. Tonight's Sunday. It's late in the day. Couple things. Neil Brown's going to be introduced as the head coach tomorrow. So is Eric Morris as the Oklahoma State head coach. Eric Morris is going to coach our bowl game, is what he said. Our bowl game was announced today. After Tulane got in the college football playoff against Ole Miss. I'm upset about that because that means that we would have been 11th, and I could have drove down to Oxnard in Oxford. Did I say Oxnard? Oxford. And then I could have been, there. It would have been just a 6-hour drive for me. So me personally, myself, I'm upset, but it's fine. So Eric Morris will coach the bowl game in Albuquerque. I was looking at it's 14 hours away from me. And to take my family, right now, I just looked at the tickets. It's $3,000. And I'm not excited about spending $3,000 on that particular deal. What I think I'll do is maybe spend a couple hundred at a watch party here. That just feels like a more economical decision, especially given the whole thing. But to your point, right? You were saying, "Hey, y'all are poor." You're right. I guess I'm too poor to go to Albuquerque to drop the hat.
Yeah, for me, it'll be about a $600 flight, maybe even more for a more comfortable, not at 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
I lost track of.
Take the red eye, man. Get out there.
We're going up against San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't hate that. I hate that we're having to play in the New Mexico Bowl. It is after the year that we've had, ranked 25th in the nation in the college football playoff, 20. I don't know. I don't know how the AP and coaches poll changed after the conference championships, but
yeah. Well, we finished 23rd, right? 23rd, and then we were 25th in the college football playoff ranking. So there you go. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff all around. But yeah, I've heard this from a few people. But continue, please. Continue.
Yeah, I was just going to continue to complain, right? I'm seeing Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando. I'm seeing UTSA play FIU in Dallas, or not Dallas, University Park at Ford Stadium. I'm quickly trying to skim through this list here.
I got it right here. Cure Bowl, South Florida, Old Dominion. That was already announced. Right, Gasparilla Bowl. This is announced today, December 19th. It's probably a nicer bowl, right? But it's quicker. It's a quicker turnaround. I mean, were you gonna make Tampa I think it's more likely that North Texas fans would make the New Mexico Bowl than get to Tampa, Florida in a couple weeks. But again, I don't know. It's Memphis and NC State.
It's just such a cruddy.
Well, I'm saying so.
Place.
Of these options, which one would you rather? Because I've heard this one, right? First Responder Bowl. Would you rather play FIU? Because that's what UTSA is doing.
Sure, and I know.
Military Bowl.
Right.
You rather play Pitt, East Carolina? Is that the one you wanted? In Annapolis?
I'd like to play against Pitt.
I mean, I think maybe that was a good one, right? It's ECU and Pitt. But here's what I'm thinking that happened there. Is East Carolina's on the East Coast. It's easier for them to make a Maryland trip. And they're thinking they're going to do that because East Carolina travels and they get good attendance, right? North Texas does not travel and we don't have great attendance. So I think there's a little bit of that happening there. And all the, you have the Fenway Bowl. Are we going to go out like Army and UConn? You excited about UConn and Boston? I don't think anybody's really excited about that. We'd have the same reaction.
In December?
Yeah, so everybody's like, no, I don't want to do that. At least, so then the last one you have is the Armed Forces Bowl against Texas State. We played them last year, and Texas State's 6-6. So then that's not a great option. That's just down in Fort Worth. So then you have the Liberty Bowl maybe against Cincinnati. That's maybe kind of cool, but it's Navy there. Navy, I'll tell you this right now. Navy's a bigger draw than we are nationally. You put Navy anywhere, there's naval graduates, people who went to the Navy, people that just like the Navy. They go to it. So of all of those, I have heard this. I don't mean to jump all over you, but I was tweeted the same thing a few times while I was at the basketball game earlier. And I'm like, I don't see another option for us. It's the New Mexico Bowl. Where's the better bowl? The one Notre Dame was going to go to and then quit? Notre Dame, bunch of quitters. That's what they are. Like, what? We're not in the playoff? I quit.
Well,
I'm going home.
I think the tie-ins just suck. And you ask the players... Yeah. And they don't want to play in New Mexico. They don't even want to play in Dallas. They want to go to Honolulu. They want to go to New Orleans, even though they're just there. They want to go to Tucson. They want to go to Tampa Bay.
I pronounce it Tucson, but yeah.
Tucson.
That's how I pronounce it.
And those are just more fun for them. Las Vegas. I mean, I know there's no tie-ins there. But
people can pronounce Natchitoches as Natchez or whatever. I'm going to pronounce it Tucson. That's what I decided. So
wait, no, there's Natchitoches.
Same difference.
And there's Nacogdoches.
Yeah, same difference. They mispronounce it, and I'm going to call it Tucson, and you can't stop me. I 100% agree with you. Like, here's the thing, right? So, same. I'm agreeing. I'm going to say the same words that you said, just slightly differently. It's that it's my fault, and it's your fault, and it's everybody else's fault. We're not rich enough, and we're not passionate enough, and there's not that many of us to make us a draw, right? Again, I said Navy, Notre Dame, the bunch of quitters that they are, we're just not as, we don't care as much, right? That's it. We're just not as popular, and so we can't affect these things, right? When people were saying this about the gear, like, how come we don't get cool gear? Because we don't buy enough. I don't buy enough.
You don't buy the gear.
You don't buy enough. They're like, how come we don't get good? I
got my coach's jacket.
Yeah, I like it. Looks like it's being blurred out. Like we're censoring it. Why is it? How come we're not getting all the gear? Because we don't buy enough, right? Like I said, this is not me. I'm not complaining because you guys didn't buy my stuff, but I noticed that too when I put out the shirt. Right, not that many bought it. There's a lot of people like, oh, I'm gonna get it right now. Guess who didn't get it? That guy that said he was gonna get it. There's a lot of that. And, like anecdotally, just talking to people, they're like, yeah, I put out stuff and I expected no Texas fans to buy it and they didn't really buy it. And I was like, well, that's it.
Yeah, and this is not to chastise the fan base, right? It's more about like if you want a better product than those that are kind of on the periphery of waiting to see what happens, you need to buy in. You need to jump on the bandwagon. It's here and waiting for you. And a lot of us have been on the ride for a long time, and we've had the lowest of lows, like historically, some of the worst losses of all time, and some of the craziest wins we've ever seen. And it's an uphill battle because academically, like, it's hard to get to some of the students. I was a teacher in the geography program. Yeah, well, no, I was there like saying like, okay, let's part of one of the assignments. We're all going to go to the North Texas game. Or hey, what did you know that we're going to play against such and such team this weekend? They're like, we have a football team. So there is from a core, the university outside of the athletic department needs to step up too if they want to do this right and start indoctrinating. And that's what it is, right? From indoctrination during orientation, make a bigger deal of athletics, right? Make people come in and do a bonfire thing, have an athletics thing, cheerleaders coming through the different 101 stadium seating classes, and have cheerleaders there and throw, get the t-shirt can, shoot the guy in the first row with the t-shirt can, and
got him again. Never sitting first.
And do it. Yeah. Put that energy in there. And I know I did it individually. Nobody asked me to do it. Yeah. That's because I like North Texas football, and so there is no clear connection, no drive between the athletic department and the academic, the deans, and all across the chancellors, whatever, all across the street at the university. So that part's frustrating. I'm not seeing that change. As much as we can drum up the students have been great, right, all season, showing up for these games when it wasn't a holiday weekend. And how can we continue that, right? And it's hard. And we talk about how we create fans when there's a surge of good North Texas football, but then it drops off because people get hired away, people go away.
Yeah.
But you retain the hardcore core of that generation.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's hard to keep it up.
Yeah, we said this, and like the thing is, like, like guys like us, right? We were, went to college, whatever. I also am just like a sports fan. I was gonna, whatever it was gonna be that I went to. I talked about this before. I was like looking at Texas Tech, UT and whatever, and I chose North Texas, and like it would have been somewhere, and I would have been the same guy. I was telling it about a different reason, but I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, yeah, like I grew up a Texas fan, but I stopped following once I went to University of North Texas. It's weird to me that people are like, I'm going to go my other team. Like, I don't have no other team. This is my team, And she was like, yes, I know, Mr. Nation. Yeah, she calls me Mr. Nation from when I do meet. I was like, yeah, but that to me is like the fun. And we're going to bring it back to what we're doing here. It's the fun part of it. And like, people say sports is suffering. Like, you can't enjoy it. To me, I don't. What would I do? Just like root for Ole Miss? I don't like. It doesn't like who's good right now. I'll root for them. Yeah, Ohio State. It seems cheap and fake, and I would not enjoy it.
Yeah,
I could not be an Indiana fan right now. Like I couldn't. It just wouldn't. Like, oh yeah, like Indiana. Like it's so great that we're winning. Like it wouldn't feel like anything. No, that dude. Like I said, I had sports tears at the I'm gonna curse it at the Heart of Dallas Bowl because it was a lot of losing that I saw. It was me and Fouts and nobody else. It was like the next guy is in 8 sections that way, and there's nobody, and then it's me, and then my wife, and then nobody else.
Or when we beat Purdue. Huge sports tears there, big fat alligator cheers, because it's just like, oh my god, we did it, we broke through, and it's so hard, and I get so frustrated with and this is not the fan base, but college football fans that probably just watch 1 or 2 games a weekend, and it's usually whatever's on ABC, and there's the rest of us who are the sickos, right, that watch. I'm over here watching Richmond play or watching. Rutgers is a little bit bigger, but who cares about Rutgers? I'm there watching them, or just because I want to watch it. Or Montana State, right? And it's a fun rivalry between Montana State and I guess the University of Montana, huge one. And but we're different, and I get frustrated when it's like, no, a team like Texas should be in there. Well, they've already lost to teams in the conference football playoffs, so why should they be in there? And but you can't argue with those people. They've made up their mind, and to your point about being a T-shirt fan of those schools, I support Texas, right? When they do well, I'm excited for them because I grew up in Austin, and the indoctrination in the city was everywhere, in the stores, in the streets, right? You drive by, and there it is. There's the tower. It's everywhere, and it's ingrained as part of the city. And Cedric Benson, I loved him more than I did Ricky Williams. Like I love Cedric Benson. and Major Applewhite and Jamal Charles and Vince Young, obviously in that era of football. But when it came to going to college, I was like, all right, in order to get into UT, I have to spend a year at Permian Basin or Rio Grande Valley. I'm not going to do that. That sucks. I'm going to go to Texas State. No, it's still too close to home. I'm going to go to North Texas. And then I went to North Texas, started tailgating there, and they became my team. And it's my university, my team, and I'm going to root for them as much as I can and invest in the team as far as I'm capable of being able to do that, right, financially responsibly. But I am not a mattress Mac.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I can't just like drop.
Yeah,
we need to keep this guy. All right, here you go.
Yeah, it runs into a limit.
Sure,
like, yeah. I mean, but yeah. So that's the thing is like I think a lot of people have those same things. To me, like to your point there, I don't know that. I think every university has a sports ball guy, right? Well, you like in sports ball, okay, right? There's always that guy. And, like North Texas has them. People at Texas have, there. At Ohio State, I'm sure. They're like, oh, everybody's like the sports ball, I guess. Whatever. We should do. Okay. I think what you're going to find is all the people that do love sports, right? You got to convince them that North Texas is worth spending your money and your time on. And I think for the most part, North Texas, the administration, all that stuff has made strides. I remember when I first went to school there, it wasn't as, clear that was happening, and it has since become so. I'm a little disappointed that we as a fan base, as an alumni group, all the other things, didn't get behind the basketball program as much as we could have. Like tonight, lost to TCU. We won the NIT. That's something to build on, right? Like, you have something there. Like, to me, that's great. Again, because I'm a basketball guy, but again, I know it's Texas, so I guess we have to make decisions. We're like, all right, this is going to be the most bang for our buck is over here on the football team. Fine. I get that, right? It sucks, though, because I think you can make more of a dent if you invest in basketball. But it's fine. Whatever. Like, it's football. I want to get your thoughts before we wrap this up because we're going a little long. Just a couple minutes over our target time. We're going to do an Elam ending here. What are your thoughts on Neil Brown? I have heard, and this is just, anecdote. I think this is part of it also, that he doesn't have a great visage, Like, you look at him and you're not like, that's a coach I like, Maybe, it's like, you kind of have a little Wreck-It Ralph kind of Seth the Trail look, like, what I mean? You're like, that guy, I can get behind him, He can help lift, lift furniture, that guy. And you look at Neil Brown and you're like, he kind of gives off a little Count It kind of vibes or something like that. I'm just quoting other people that told me this. They're like, I don't know. It doesn't look.
It's like Arrested Development, and the girlfriend. You go, her. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, I mean,
well, first to comment about basketball.
Yeah.
I wear this coaching jacket, sideline jacket, whatever it is, around town here, and a lot of the old heads are like, "Oh yeah, they have a really good basketball team." So, the North Texas basketball has gained notoriety, and I feel like basketball fans are kind of like a down low underground fan base.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's what brings the NCAA the most amount of money, which is crazy to think. Through the tournament, it makes them the most money, and I'm talking about revenue for then turning around and giving out scholarships. Yeah. That's where a lot of that comes from. And so North Texas basketball has built a national brand, and I don't want to see that fall apart. And I think we're headed in that direction. But I don't want another rant. I've been ranting all day. Neil Brown, from the get-go, I think you several pods ago, you mentioned his name, and I locked in on it, and I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we went that direction. So I'm excited, both as validation for my thoughts, but also I think he works at the mid-major level. He knows how to recruit at the mid-major level. And we're not the same as West Virginia in terms of the analogous, like our place in the conference. Like West Virginia, it's tough to win because you're in the ACC, right?
They're in the...
Same thing for...
They're in the Big 12.
Sorry.
Yes.
Big 12.
Yeah,
it's hard to win there. Same thing for. I was gonna throw somebody under the bus, but I blanked on where I was going. A&M. Same thing for A&M in the SEC. So 12 years in the making. It's hard for them to win because they're that team there. So I don't think it's the same situation. It's a little bit easier to win in the American Conference, just because there's more parity and also some teams that just struggle. That's just the way it is. And so there's and then he's been given this team that has maybe not the same players that we're going to see next year that we saw this year. Not the same staff, but it's built that excitement, and it's built that expectation of a whole bunch of yards. If you want to come and be noticed, and you want to pass for a whole bunch of yards, catch for a whole bunch of yards, run for a whole bunch of yards, come to North Texas. I think he's been helped there, which is great. And so, final thought is, yes, I'm excited for it. I think it's what we need. We've got a former head coach in several different places, and we're not bringing in an upstart, right? And so that just getting everything stabilized is kind of what we need right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's worked out so far in basketball, I'll say. It's like, I don't know that everybody's excited about the basketball team at this moment. And so, it kind of, you start looking at Jared Mosley. It's like, maybe you missed on one. But yeah, I think so. Like, I will say some of the pictures of him looking at the gear and the stuff, he kind of looks like, yeah, okay, we had better at West Virginia, I think. But, there's a little bit of that. Again, you could be just reading into his face. Maybe that's his elated face. He just has, like, a disappointed kind of face. I don't know. But I would say, like, I said this before, is that a version of this before on our show is that winning makes it look great, right? Like, it's like, Cliff Kingsbury, right? He had his $200 haircut, his sunglasses on. He's working out. It looks trim out there, and everybody's like, "Look at that! That's a head coach. That's what you need to do. He's a cool guy, man. Everybody wants to look like him. All the ladies love him." Then he's losing. They're like, "Look at this guy. He's spending too much money, too much time on his haircut and his glasses and how he looks, and he's worried about all these girls looking at him. He needs to coach up some football, And so that's the way it is, right? Andy Reid.
We did that.
Yeah, exactly.
With Latrell.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Andy Reid, right? He got run out of Philadelphia. Nobody thought him as a lovable walrus winner, right? They were like, look at this guy, can't win the game. Now he's winning Kansas City. He's so lovable. Don't you just want to give him a big old hug?
I thought he could. Full credit to him. I thought he could.
I like, yes. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, with Latrell. Yeah. Like Latrell, I when he did his first ever like coaches show, I took the family there. Atlanta was maybe 3 or 4 years old. I can't remember now. And I got in the elevator, and he walks in there, and he's like, "Oh, this is here's the coach." Like, he's a big dude, right? Big, muscular guy. I was like, "Are you sure he didn't play linebacker, not fullback?"
Yeah.
And then
wait, hold on. Did you try to puff
and then
up
over
a little
time,
bit? You're kind of like, yeah, my name's Aldo.
Right there. Yeah.
Voice got a little deeper. Yeah, my name's Aldo. It's good to meet you.
I bought a football once. And anyway, yeah. So it's like we're excited about him, and then he gets trim. He gets like ripped. He hit the gym, and you could tell he could play again. But we started to dislike the little things, the shaking his head, the pacing. Like, why are you walking? Get back on the sideline.
Quit looking at the booth,
Look
man.
at the game. Watch.
Mike Blush ain't gonna help you, buddy. He don't got no place for you. I mean, yeah. So again, that's what happens, right? So like whatever, like that. Everything there is that he's coached at this level, and I think Troy doesn't have the same access to some things. I will say this though, Troy has some defensive linemen. Like, I mean, if you can't find them in Texas, fine, whatever. Go find some dudes over there in Alabama, and get some of them Southern boys, and bring them over here, right? And say, look at the bright lights of Dallas, Texas. Isn't it great? Like whatever he got to be.
He brought NFL players to Troy. I'm obviously of course I'm blanking on those names, but he brought NFL players to Troy.
Yeah, and I'll say that all of recruiting now, right? Like, so you can kind of, like Dan Mullen famously was not a great recruiter, or he kind of gave up on it or whatever. There, recruiting changed for everybody. So you sort of call it like a COVID year, right? Last 3 years has been weird, And I think the new normal is settling in. You kind of know what you're going to do. You know what kind of budget you have from an NIL perspective. You know that you need a GM. You know that you're going to have to pay these dudes, and you have an idea of how much that is. So it's a little cleaner. I mean, the schedule also is a little cleaner. So you can just make some straightforward decisions. I need a defensive lineman. Let's get the best we can find at this thing. And you can also adjust those budgets. You can say, you know what? We're not going to have to budget for a fullback, so let's not have any fullback money. What we need, or we can make do with some undersized wide receivers, so we won't pay for those guys. But if you're gonna pay for anybody, pay for a defensive lineman. Where do we learn this? In the professional ranks, where the Cowboys lost a game-changing, pass rusher, and then didn't even get kind of good until they got a game-changing defensive lineman. Like, dude, if you can. If you find a dominant defensive lineman, defensive tackle, yeah, give them all the money. Whatever NIL money you can give them, give that to them, and then get a pass rusher. But this has always been the case, right? Except you had to pay them by showing your amazing locker room. Look at this TV we got, right? It's a long way around toward giving them the same thing. You're good. We want you here. Here's money. Now you're like, but I see how I bought this over there. That's for you. Now you can just say, here it is, dude. Take it. Where are you going to go spend it? In Troy? Ain't nothing in Troy, man. Where's the stuff? Dallas is right there, So that's the advantage, I think, that North Texas has, or other places don't, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? Ain't nothing in Gainesville, dude. Ain't nothing there. No. And
we may not be a powerhouse, but it's as Eric Morris has showed, as Latrell showed as well, you can recruit talent there, and it just takes that energy and the right coach.
Yeah, dude, there's been talent in here, and I keep saying it too. It's like the last minute here, I'll say everybody's been saying the G5 doesn't deserve, and then the mid majors shouldn't be in there. We should need more. No, you don't. This is all just greed. It's just a money grab. And we should fight against it as much as we can. Like, even if you're a fan of the big time sports, because it's going to kill the sport that you love. Like, you need everybody.
It's about what you want to watch, not about who should be in there.
Yes, dude. The thing is, you have to just to be a little bit more selfless and understand where there's an ecosystem here. You're killing the roots of it, right? If you cut off FCS, if you cut off the G5, then you're not going to get coaches, right? Mike Leach came up at Division II places, and he made his way up, right? Kurt Signetti was coaching up at these tiny little places. There's a good chunk of the Indiana squad came up from JMU, right? You watch the Duke and Virginia game, right? Chandler Morris played at North Texas. That's where he rediscovered his love of football, at North Texas, right? Not at TCU, not at Oklahoma, here in North Texas. Darian Mensah played at Tulane, right, last year. Oscar Attaway playing at South Carolina. He was running the ball at North Texas. There's a lot of those. Jamori Macklin, right, at Kentucky. He was here at North Texas. A lot of these guys get time playing experience, coaching at other places. Eric Morris was at FCS UIW. A lot of these guys get time, get places. They go to other places, and you need those places. You need Division II Shepherd, so that way Cam Dorner can develop and then show his stuff at the FBS level, right? You need all these. If that doesn't exist, then he doesn't play, and then he's just working his job, and he's starting his career out just like everybody else, right? Like me, you, everybody else. Mm-hmm. You're creating fewer football players, fewer football coaches, fewer football fans. If you start cutting off the lifeblood, just the money. Everybody needs to get a little money. Everybody needs it to stay invested, because there's coaches all the time. It's not easy. You're like, do I take this $30,000 job a year? Maybe. That's a good job. Sleep on couches, get a room with other people because I love this sport. Because if it's not 30, now it's 15, I can't do 15, right? And then I give up, and I got to go work somewhere else.
You cut off those teams, and they start shuttering their programs, and then now these guys have nowhere to go either coach or play, and then you don't discover those Cam Dorners, and they don't move up. You don't discover those Cam Wards, and they don't get to move up, right? Because they don't have that opportunity. They don't have that chance, and so creating that disparity is it's not the point of where we're trying to go, right? The point originally was to make sure that the companies that are making money off of these players' backs are also like giving some of that back to the players because they earned it, right? And now they're like, oh well, I make more money if people watch Alabama, a 3-loss Alabama, going up against, I don't remember who they're going up against, than I would against James Madison versus whoever they're playing. Right, it's about the ratings, it's about the revenue, and they're parroting guys like Kirk Herbstreit in the conference football playoff selection show that was going on. It was so toxic. I have nothing against JMU. I've got nothing against Tulane. They won the conferences, but these are all the reasons why I want to see Texas. Texas had their chance. They lost to teams already in the conference football playoff. Same thing goes to Notre Dame. They started off the year at 0-2 and. There's other teams in there that lost to conference football playoff teams already. So don't give me none of that. And it's their choice to go into the SEC. They chose to go there because they wanted that money, that revenue sharing that's occurring there. If they didn't want to lose all the damn time, well, that's on you. You chose to go to the SEC and you were losing there. Well, that sucks for you.
If Notre Dame wants to join the American and go 12-0 and beat Tulane, North Texas, or whoever it's going to be in the conference.
You get an automatic bid every year.
Come on and do it. We'll play. Yeah. We'll then suddenly that's what I'm saying is that like that's always a thing. It's like, well, you guys are not good enough. Okay, but like you're cutting it off you're cutting off the river. It's like a river, and you're cutting off the tributaries. And you're like, well, that place is arid and it's dry, and they don't have any. Yeah, because you have it all, right? And then like it again. It's a silly thing to do. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face, kind of deal. We've seen it this year. Once they've spread the opportunity around, because it used to be this like, all right, the way we determine a champion is who I think deserves to be champion. Okay, so you guys look good and you guys look good, and then it's always just the same thing. It's like, wow, it seems like I'm just like the poll or the BCS or whoever it is. It's just a beauty contest. It's like, well, we're pretty good. We're like, well, I don't know that you're good. And so I know that they're always good, but what is my measure? Well, because I saw them and I think they're good. Now, we expanded a little bit, right? And everybody gets a little bit of money. Now, Indiana gets a chance a little bit. Now they're winning. Now you're like, oh, well, maybe, hey, look, let everybody play some players, and we're giving everybody more opportunity. More teams are showing they can do some things with that opportunity.
That opportunity, right? And those teams in the P4 are not taking those up. They're losing. And one of the talking points, was, hey, these teams are JMU and Tulane and others in contention. Those mid majors, they beat some P4 teams, but they were bad P4 teams. And I'm like, say it again slowly, right? They proved even against bad teams, they take care of business, right? Yeah. When some of these other teams are not able to take care of business.
Dude, yeah, it's the same thing. It's like. The most American competition we have is the NCAA tournament. You win your league, you're in. I don't even care if they do it. They were like, well, let's give more bids to these other at-large ones. I think it's unfair, but I still think that, hey, every conference champion gets in. Everybody has a chance. Day one in basketball. Right now, this terrible North Texas basketball team, we have a chance to win the national championship. Every one of them. Everybody has a chance. And that is a beautiful thing. It sucks that you're like, well, we didn't rank you. We just don't think that you're going to win. So then you have zero chance. And again, because college football is so fun, despite all of that silliness, people still support it, right? People still care. Now you open it up, and then you have to compete. The thing is that you have to share money, and nobody wants to do it. It's greed. Then everybody has to compete, and everybody gets a chance. Imagine how much more so popular this sport would be. If everybody, right? Suddenly, you present a 5-star dude a chance to, again, go play for a hard-ass, obnoxious coach over here at, let's say Ohio State or something like that, Florida, or North Texas, right? You're like, you know what? I have a chance here. I can go make a difference here. Whereas my previous option is like, I can go to North Texas, but I'm never going to get to compete on these high levels because I will never be afforded the opportunity to do so. Right now, because you have a JMU in, because you have a Tulane in, people are like, I can go to Tulane. I can go to JMU. I have a chance, right? You're more likely to look those ways.
I have a path to go.
Yeah.
to the big stage.
And it shouldn't be just those. It should also be the MAC champion too. It should also be the Mountain West. Give them a chance. Even if you have us play each other, whatever. American, like, I don't love that, but that's a better thing than right now. Duke, Western Michigan, is it UNLV not even being in the thing? Like, why should they not? They won their league.
No rank.
Like, why were we playing football
Miami
for?
is in.
Yeah. What did Miami win? They didn't win. They realized it's a better league. Cool. Well, if you don't want to be in the better league, you need to be in a different league because that league's too hard to win. Then do what you got to do. Right? Go ahead. I'm sure the Mountain West would invite you, Miami, if you want to join. Ask them if you can join it. They're like, well, no, we deserve to be in this hard league where it's hard to win. Cool. Then if you don't win it, quit complaining about it. Like, that's how I feel about it. It's just like, are you a competitor?
Just win.
Are you a competitor or not? Well, you gotta see it's real hard. You gotta consider that our league. Okay, then don't be in it, dude. Well, but so that's all it is. It's just complaining to me, and I don't like it. I don't like whining. I tell my kids, hey,
they just don't want to watch those teams.
Yeah, that's it.
The thing. They don't think that it's not about being deserved. It's just they don't feel like watching those teams, and then it's just vanity. And you got those Barstool Sports guys, you got those betting shows, podcasts that are giving us. Yeah, they're given a stage, and they believe that they've got a valid opinion. And what's funny is that they go on Twitter and oh, this sucks, and then everybody disagrees. No, let JMU in, let Tulane in, and but they don't take that into. They just move on. It's just whiny, petty, non-sports fans behavior.
So I would say all that to put your money where your mouth is. Everybody is like I do the same thing here because I do like sports. I have season tickets to the basketball team. It would be North Texas if I was closer. I had season tickets to North Texas. I don't live in Dallas anymore. I got season tickets to the local basketball squad. I try to go support all the local sports I can. I like sports. I think it's a great, value for my money. I can go see some high level competition. People enthusiastic. Like I said, and you're like, oh, it doesn't. People care about it. Dude, I like, and I know a few other guys like this. We go to the local rec league, right? I know I'm not playing in that game that night. We know it's a championship game between, again, just men's 30-plus league. People go to it. It's compelling competition when people care a little bit, right? They put 2 refs out there because they know it gets a little chippy, right? It's a beautiful thing, right, to see that as humans, right? To go see people compete. It's fun. You go to a high school game, people compete. It's fun. Encourage that. Make sure you can have the ability to do it. If you're getting priced out at the NFL games, which are just ridiculous, or at the high level college games, go to a D2 game, go to a D3 game. It's high level basketball. It's high level soccer, high level football, high level baseball. It's pretty good stuff, and you might even see a guy that's gonna go pro one day. We're talking about the Conference USA thing. We saw
in Texas.
But I mean, dude, like I was saying this. I lived in San Antonio, and I didn't take advantage of it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I could have went for a $10 ticket and watched UIW football, and I could have watched the future coach of North Texas and Oklahoma State, and I could have watched a future Heisman candidate, a Heisman in Cam Ward, Heisman number 1 pick in the draft too. He's right there, $10. How much does it cost to go see him at Tennessee, right? First row. I mean, like, it's right there for you. You can go see it right now. You can go see talented football players, soccer players, all of that stuff. Right now you can do it for cheap. It's pennies.
I've been wanting to go see the local. There's several small universities around here. One of them is University of Puget Sound. I think they're the Lumberjacks. And I go onto their website because when I first moved up here, I was like, oh, they're just down the road. I wonder if I can bring some tailgate gear and this and that. And I feel like they're like, we don't do that here. But I was going to go buy tickets online, and they said just come to the shack to buy the tickets. Oh, okay. They're like a D2 or D3 school. And anyway, it's just exciting because I want to go see some football.
Yeah. I mean, I moved here, and the first thing I did was drive over to, I saw Louisiana Tech play Missouri before Drinkwater kind of turned them into a thing and did renovations. Like, dude, it's so fun. College football is fun for all those same reasons. And, like, there's a lot of value there if you can't get it. I won't hate you if you're like, well, I didn't watch the North Texas game this week because I went down to, University of Puget Sound or whatever it is. Find something around you, enjoy it. Like, that to me is... You're feeding into it. Everybody's wondering why kids are just staring at this, that, and the other. because I think you're getting priced out, you're getting booted out for all the stuff that matters. Like I grew up playing sports, and then it was my daughter. I was telling the story. I took her to games, and she didn't really. She said, I don't get it, right? It wasn't until she played the sport, right? She played basketball. She's in the basketball league, and then she's competing. And then I took her to the game, right? We had seen tickets, and she's like leaning forward, like the meme, right? She's like leaning forward, and she was like, we're talking about it. I was like, yeah, once you play it a little bit, you appreciate it more, right? So, I mean, take your kids out to play, put them in a league, have a pickup game, organize the kids in your neighborhood. Like, we're going to do, hey, everybody on the north side of the street against everybody on the south side of the street. Yeah, let's play a little baseball, play a little soccer. Who knows how to play soccer? Even if you don't know how to play, all of that stuff is good, Like I said, just for health, exercise, community building, but then it's also fun, So, there you go. And then go appreciate people that have been doing it and are out there competing. It's fun. It's good.
Rant number 4 over.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Mean Green Nation podcast. Thank you for listening to the show, for supporting the show. This is like the last one that we'll do. I think we'll do a bowl preview podcast. If there's going to be any news, I don't know. Like we're not quite in like hiatus, but like I said, I want to just pump it out to do content where we're just staring at each other and like, all right, top 5 shirts that we ever like. All right, come on, dude. So I mean, there's some of that, so everybody has time to do this, that, and the other. But we're gonna sort it out and figure out a good way to I say keep our podcasting skills sharp, I guess. But we'll figure out what that is.
That ship has sailed.
Aldo's gonna be like, wait, where did I put it? Here? Where's it go?
What do I do with my hands?
Podcasting. So we'll figure out what to do there. Like I said, we'll flip into basketball mode on the site and the other thing. But like our unofficial texts, the forum posts, everybody's real dour, real sad about it. Like, oof, it's hard to watch this team. And it is. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Yeah, Aldo, you gonna hitchhike to Albuquerque on December 27?
No, I don't think so. It's just gonna be way too much effort to go to Albuquerque.
I mean, like
it's so far away.
We'll put a fund there, like buy his, we'll buy whatever.
It's gonna take a lot.
your airport snack when you get to Albuquerque, By the way, because I went to New Orleans. Here's the rest of New Orleans. I didn't get to eat anything like fun. I did get to drink and kind of hang out with some guys. It was like except William and then Alejandro and then David and then there was a Jake there and then there was like a Jared there. So cool guys. Also one guy, Fernando. He was a little bit deed out. He was a little bit drunk, but it's fine. It's good stuff because he was sad about it. He was like, I need a Gatorade. I was gonna buy him a Gatorade, but the little hotel lobby thing closed. There was a guy out there with some other dude just doing push-ups in the street. It was a very Hayward drunk in the middle of the night kind of doing push-ups, and he was like, well, let me see how many.
New Orleans?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was fun. It could have been more fun. I thought about staying a little bit like into Saturday, and if I did, because my flight went from St. Louis to San Antonio to New Orleans. I saw the UIW basketball team get on the plane. They're flying commercial. They're not charter. I was like, where are they playing? They're playing in Nichols, and they were going to play against New Orleans on Monday. And I thought, I was like, if I planned it differently, I might have gone to those games, just see a little, UIW Cardinals play New Orleans whatever's, in the Southland Conference. And that's what I'm saying is like there's tons of little basketball games going on. Super cheap and you have a good time. But I didn't get a drink and hang out there because I had to get back from my daughter's basketball game where they won. She went 0 for 3, but she got a couple rebounds. It's fine. She's a.
Hey,
Yeah.
got to get on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was like. On her team, you got a couple good players, so you're gonna be a rebounder, right? That's it. You just get hustle points, right? She had a good time. It's great. Again, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to the show. Go Mean Green. Finish my drink, team.
Go Mean Green.
Recording stopped.